Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Nicole. I'm 22 years old, I'm Mexican, and I live all over the place and I do makeup. So, no, in all seriousness, hi, welcome to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, be part of this family. I'd really appreciate it. Air hugs for you. So yeah, not gonna ramble too much, but you know what you could call this video. You know you want to conceal that big, red, bumpy breakout that's screaming, look at me, you know? You want to do that. So we don't find breakouts cute. No one ever does. No one says, oh look, that's a cute breakout. I like that pimple. Let's keep it. Like, no one wants them. No one cares for them. They're just like the things in this society on this earth that are absolutely like not needed, and yet our skin still decides to do that. But alas, we're all human, so this happens to everyone. I don't know why I clap so much sometimes. Excuse that. But yeah, if you want to see my technique on how to cover those breakouts and make them seem that they're not even there, and conceal them properly, and just kind of like, you know, my take on how to conceal these things when you really don't want them to be seen, and they're making you feel a bit insecure, and you just, you know, want to make yourself feel like fabulous for back to school, and you had that unfortunate breakout. Yeah, if you want to know how I do that, please continue watching, and let's go ahead and get started. A little quick disclaimer here at the beginning before we get into the video. I do want to say that you want to do 3 things. I don't know if they're 3. I'm going to count them as I go, okay? I can't think. So, tip number 1 to make the breakout go away quicker. Use SPF. Now, you have to use SPF every day to protect your skin from UV rays, harmful UV rays. Now, even though it may be cloudy or raining and you're like, oh, I'm just staying inside, you have to put your SPF on because the UV rays get in. You see light? There are UV rays, alright? And the reason we want to do that is because SPF provides a filter, as you guys know, the basics of SPF, against the UV rays. And the UV rays harm our skin and do not promote healing. It takes longer to heal. Obviously, it promotes wrinkles. So we don't really want that, and as long as we can put off like wrinkles, leaving sun damage, anything like that, we can keep it at bay. Let's do that. That's a good thing to do. Keep our skin healthy. And obviously the biggest one of them all, we don't want skin cancer, do we? So SPF is the #1 thing. Also, because it has that filter, we need to have that filter so it heals, and it heals properly and nice. It's one of the quickest tips that I could give you. Tip number 2. If you have a huge breakout that is just like, God, please get out of my face, you're making me so insecure. It's not a tiny one, it's a massive volcano on your head. If it's a massive one, I highly recommend using salicylic acid to try to make it heal and try to get into that pore, get into the deeper layers of the skin, and kind of like, if I put it into a nutshell without getting super sciencey and super scientific, it's basically, it just goes in there and gets rid of all that gunk, especially when you have breakouts, and it keeps them at bay. So it's good to use kind of those chemicals. Now, if you want to do a little bit more research on salicylic acid and what it does and what acid's not going to harm your skin, it's just salicylic acid. Okay? Do your research, everyone. Obviously, it depends on your skin type. I'm not going to say like everyone use salicylic acid because I don't know how your skin's going to react. But yeah, do your research. There are a bunch of fabulous skincare channels, and I would highly recommend Hiram's, and I think it's the Beauty Within. Those 2 channels have really helped me understand skincare situations, breakouts, UV rays, wrinkles, how to, like, you know, do a bunch of different shit. I'm not gonna ramble too much, but yeah, that was tip number 2. Moving on to tip number 3. Now, if you truly want to let your skin heal and the breakout to go away, try not to wear makeup. And I know you hear this everywhere, you're like, I know, but I like to put makeup every day, or I feel like I'm way too insecure with this big ass breakout, and I want to put makeup on because I really don't feel great. I get you. I'm there right now. I feel you. It happens to the best of us. But I do recommend, try to not put makeup on if you have a breakout, especially if they're red, bumpy, and big and huge. Just let your skin breathe. It'll let it heal, and all those magical particles, but those magical particles will help you heal that are within our skin. You can't just throw magic on it. I mean, I wish, right? So yeah. That aside, those 3 tips aside, we do want to put makeup on. We want to make it seem like this big ass breakout isn't there. And completely unnecessary and making us insecure and a bit self-aware of our skin. If you don't want any of that and you feel like you want to put the makeup on, just keep on watching. Let's start with this video. I just want to say those 3 things first because they are necessary. And remember, you're beautiful with and without breakouts. We're absolutely, normal, human, there, not were. We're still normal. Do you get what I mean? I talk too much sometimes. Anywho, I just want you to keep in mind that it's absolutely not necessary to put makeup on. Let me say that once. I'm going to repeat it at the end, just so you know. But you're beautiful with and without makeup, and you do not need makeup to cover up your breakouts, okay? You're beautiful the way you are. You don't need it. But alas, if we want a tool to help us, and we feel like we need it that day, we absolutely can't keep the makeup off, and we need to put it on our faces because we can't just take it off and have a day without makeup, then let's continue the video.
Okay, so as you can tell, I have bad breakouts. You can't really tell with good lighting, but there you go. You can see more or less that I have bad breakouts. So stress in the morning, you just want to get rid of them, First things first, I need to prime, and I really recommend using a pore filling primer. I'm using the Maybelline Baby Skin primer, and it's just going to help even out some of the texture from your pores, and it will help the makeup and the concealing part just glide on and stick to your skin for the rest of the day. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation and just blending it out with a brush. I really want to sheer this out and have a light layer because concealing breakouts is not about layering about 50,000 thickness of foundation. Like, just don't do that. No, you need a light layer and then just spot conceal. I'm using the Superstay concealer for correcting my under eyes, and then Infallible's foundation stick to get a super bronzy look. Now, I know I look like a clown, so don't worry, this is all going to come together, you're going to see. I also use liquid blush. I really recommend using this technique of doing a sun-kissed look, maybe not as crazy as this, but yeah, using something somewhat looking like this, because the redness will kind of blend more with the breakout and it's easier to conceal. Yeah, I just blended all of that out, and then I forgot to do my brows at the beginning, so excuse that, I'm sorry. Just soap brows, spray some continuous setting mist onto the soap, brush it through my brows, and then just fill it in with the Morphe micro brow pencil. That's essentially all I do for that. Next, for concealer, not for the breakouts, just my normal concealer. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C2, and I just use it to blend everything out. And this is a secret for me not looking like a cloud. I put the concealer and blend it out everywhere, so I have that warmth underneath, but I still have somewhat of a blend and it doesn't look crazy. I don't look like a cloud, okay? I'll be fine. It's cream products. They tend to look a little bit crazy sometimes, so you can go light or heavy-handed. It depends on what you know and the products you work with. I apply a second layer under my eyes just for a little bit more full coverage, and then immediately set it with the RCMA No Color Powder. And I use a sponge to just get in there and push the powder in so it does not crease. This is my biggest tip if you have places where your concealer tends to crease or you have an oily T-zone like I do. Just do that first. Don't touch the rest of your skin though, because this is the concealing part. Now, the skin focus of this. You're going to want a thick concealer and a thin brush like I'm doing right there. Just go in messily and just try to cover around the area. Just get in there roughly. And then what you're going to want to do is just start blending it out with your fingers. You're going to see right now, you're going to blend the outer corners. Try not to touch the top, but the first blend is fine. You're going to do this little by little and blend it out to its perfection, So then after you took off a little tiny bit off the top of the bump of your breakout, you're going to want to go over it again with the cream concealer. And just a little bit, you don't need a ton of it, just blend it out with the brush a little bit more, and then go again with your finger, blend out the edges, and that's essentially what you want to do. Just make sure you have the coverage there. And then once that's done, you're going to want to grab a dry sponge, not a wet one, damp one, no. A dry sponge. You can use the disposable ones so it's a little bit more hygienic, because that breakout is like, active, it's there. And what this does, the dry sponge gives a little bit more of a full coverage, intense powder, what do you call it? You just put more powder on your skin compared to a damp sponge. So I do that first so it gets all sucked and I'm sure that it's not going to move, and then I go in with my normal sponge that I use to set my under eyes and everything, which is damp, and the same powder. I didn't change powders, nothing. I just apply a little bit of a thicker layer of powder there. You can see it a little bit there, but we're going to conceal it to its perfection. It's going to be invisible, promise. For the rest of my skin, I just grab a big powder brush and brush it lightly. And as for the powder, bronzer, and blush tips, what you want to do is tap it like I'm doing there. You just want to tap it. Do not swipe or do circular motions. Don't buff it into your skin. Just tap it. Anywhere that you don't have breakouts, you can do whatever you want to do, whatever you do to blend. Same goes for contour and blush. Just apply it normally as long as it doesn't hit the breakout. And like I said, for this tip, I would recommend the sun-kissed look so you can kind of like blend it a little bit more. You're going to see why in a little bit, but yeah. For blush, same thing. You can do whatever you want, and when you get closer to the breakout, just stop and start tapping. You want to tap the color on, press the color on top of the breakout, not swipe it off, because if you start swiping it around there, you're just going to take all the product off and all the hard work you've done. Now, this is a top secret tip, the one that makes it go completely invisible, the invisibility cloak, 100%. Create the breakouts into moles, into beauty marks. I like to call them beauty marks. It sounds a little bit nicer, you know. Essentially, you just want to grab an angled liner brush and the setting spray and sippy time. Yeah, you just want to grab the setting spray and then a dark brown shade, and you're going to want to create that circular type of, I don't know, shape. Try to create them naturally. They're not completely symmetrical, that's fine. And like I said, you want to do the sun-kissed look. So if you want to go for the same thing and try to blend the beauty marks with everything, you're going to want to do this as well. I grab a cool toned shade, same liner brush. This time is not wet, and I just put the freckles on everywhere, and then I grab a slightly warmer shade, and for the bumps, the little texture bumps that I have, I just apply those. That's the warmer shade. And then so everything blends seamlessly and it's not super stark and it looks like someone sprayed poo on me. Disgusting, I know, sorry. I just grabbed the same sponge that I used, and I barely picked up any powder, barely anything, and I just press it onto my skin so everything's set and blended. Now for highlight, the tip is to not go over the breakout. Don't go over it, go around it if you can, if it's right on your bones, and just try not to touch it. You can do the same thing everywhere on your face, it's fine, but that's my general tip. Don't go over it with sparkly, shiny things. And yeah, just highlight chin on my face, and then again with blush, give it a little bit of a flush so it blends in case any redness starts to peep out throughout the day. Just do that. That's what I'd recommend, giving yourself a sun-kissed look and then some beauty marks with freckles so you kind of get that vibe. Do you know what I mean? Now I just do the rest of my skin. I grab the Morphe 3B palette. It's a 3 palette. I was going to say brush. I use that brush for absolutely everything. It's a Smashbox brush. It came with a full exposure palette and I just use it for everything. I use a wash of brown and then a slight hint of pink around the crease to like match it with the blush so it's natural. And then with the BH Cosmetics warm brown pencil kohl, I put it in the top and bottom waterline and then apply the lippy of your choice. I use the Morphe Frenchie lip liner with the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Loyalist liquid lipstick, and then some lip balm, so pawpaw ointment, whatever you want to put so it's moisturizing. It's a little bit more natural for an everyday type of thing. I also curl my eyelashes and I color them with black. Yeah, I apply mascara and just set everything away. Fan myself as well. This is the tip. Like this is the trick for getting it seamless, and that's basically it.
This is the finished look. I did my hair, finished it, blow dried it because it was soaking wet. But I really hope you like this video. If you're all the way back here, I really appreciate it, and I really hope you found this a little bit educational and helpful for back to school because we all love that. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and bye bye. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye. Bye bye.